Harry, what episode is this?
This is episode 84.
84?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 84 of The Journey to Wherever. I've got an extremely deep Barry today. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. And I'm Ivan. Cue the intro. I missed doing the cue the intro.
That's your thing. You do it well.
Well, I like it because it's a bit of a snip up that I get to do inside the edit. But for those who are watching the show on our YouTube channel, welcome everyone. We're up to episode 84. I know we've probably only got like a small handful on YouTube, but we've got a ton in the bank. Sorry,
better late than never, they say.
Yeah, so we got a ton in the bank. The YouTube part of this podcast is new. But I missed saying episode numbers, so we're back at it.
I felt weird too. It's funny. I was like, I thought about it the other day,
and I was like, we got derailed a little bit.
You kind of do, yeah. Well, at least the start bit
threw me off guard.
100%. Quietly, I had an amazing soy hot chocolate on the way here today.
Oh, really? From Macca's? I think this needs to be in front. I'm still trying to get used to the camera angle.
Yeah,
I just realized it's got to be directly in front.
I try and pretend that it's not there, just in case it because I'm wearing this shirt. Yes, I am. For those YouTube listeners, I am wearing a shirt. I am wearing a shirt. I'm looking at myself right now. It's like skin
looks
color.
Like you're like shirtless.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
soy hot chocolate.
Soy hot chocolate.
You're big on your soy hot chocolates, aren't you?
I don't know what it is. I feel like I can have a normal hot chocolate at home. And don't get me wrong, you can have soy hot chocolate at home as well. But
but then you got to buy soy milk all the time.
Exactly. And it's like, how often are you going to have soy milk, right? Unless someone's gluten intolerant or not gluten intolerant. I'm talking about lactose intolerant. Yeah. And they can't have it, which no one in my family is. But it's cooling down in Sydney, and it's just like getting into that soy hot chocolate mode.
Can you drink soy milk by itself?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
You don't mind?
I actually don't mind it cold.
Yeah, it's nice. You know what I recently learned is... Sorry.
No, you go.
What I recently learned is apparently in the States, they're changing the criteria of being able to call like almond milk like milk because it's not from a lactating animal or something with lactose in it, apparently. If I may have been mistaken, I don't know.
It's a milking process.
Well, now it's got to be called like maybe almond juice or some shit. I don't know. Like
That's
nut.
Strange.
So instead of being almond milk, you get to call it nut juice.
Nut juice. Yeah. So anyways, I was going through drive-through, got myself a thing, and I was like, when you sip it, and you're like, damn, that's good. Yeah. It's just like, everything about it was good. It just all of a sudden, it put me right in the mood to kick this podcast off. So I felt like, you needed to know that useless, important information.
Oh, the useless facts are the most important facts. I've got my coffee with skim milk, not soy.
And I kind of wish we had a toaster in here so I can have some of those Pop-Tarts there at the front.
Man, I'm telling you.
You guys, let me just say something. I don't know what it is about, whether the suburb that I live in is just boring Nancy Pants people, or whether you guys have got like, your store managers are 12 years old. Because you guys have like the craziest stuff that you never see inside a grocery store.
Maybe we just got an unhealthy food culture out our way.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's like those things are very nostalgic. Like for someone to go, you know what? We need some brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts.
I'll tell you the story.
On our shelf. It's like, it just doesn't happen.
I'll tell you the story. So I love Pop-Tarts, right? And I used to get them as a kid too.
Hashtag not sponsored, but
no.
Yes.
Hashtag not sponsored. I don't even think Kellogg sponsors anyone. But anyway, so I was going through the store, and because I always used to eat Pop-Tarts when I was younger.
Yeah.
And the strawberry flavored one's always been my go-to. Something like strawberry. I think they might have had like a berry one or something along those lines before. I can't remember, but something strawberry wise was like my go-to. Okay. And then in my local store, we only had chocolate fudge. So it's chocolate Pop-Tart,
which is the OG
filling.
It's the OG Pop-Tart.
What, chocolate?
Yeah.
Was that the original?
Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe
I think it's called choc brownie or something.
I think it was the apple one.
Okay, it's called maybe apple. I don't know.
Cinnamon,
it was like it's got a chocolate outer biscuit, chocolate inner fudge, and chocolate icing. This is way too much chocolate for me.
Especially first thing in the morning.
I'm not big on chocolate.
Yeah.
I was going, and I've been looking at it for a long time, and then I was walking through. I'm like, and I stopped, and I was like, what? And I was literally just like, what? They had Pop-Tarts. They were on special. So they were half price. They introduced
That
brown
yellow
sugar cinnamon.
sticker catches your eye all the
And
time.
strawberry flavor as well. And I was like, boom, getting boxes of both.
Boom.
They're all gone. So these are just empty. Anyway, it's just for the YouTube people at home.
Gone, by the way.
It's just for the YouTube people at home. They're all in my belly. But
And my belly.
see, in Australia, we don't have a strong cereal culture. We don't. No,
Really?
we don't.
In comparison to?
the US.
Okay, well...
Okay, we've got Wheat Bix and Sultana Brand. Thank you
No,
very much.
come on,
Podcast is over.
We got more than that.
Like what, Fruit Loops?
You got to go to Aldi. Aldi got some serious...
But even then, we got Cocoa Pops, Rice
choc
Bubbles.
pillows? We got the choc pillows?
Yeah, I'm talking like someone's literally just got corn, rotated it in syrup and sugar, and added a whole bunch of coloring. We don't have that stuff here.
Okay.
Fruit Loops is our worst case, but they're not even colorful anymore because they're natural now. Whereas back in the day, they were like your milk would change color. Now it just gets like floaty. Now it just gets floaty pieces of like starch on the top. It's just not the same. So anytime we get shit like this, where it's like sugary, not good, I'm all over it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But brown sugar cinnamon, the best flavor.
Okay.
Would you eat them?
Oh, look, I'll give it a go.
All right.
There's no... I'm not discriminating against Pop-Tarts at all. But,
I'll hook you up.
Whether it's going to be called Pop-Tarts in the future, who knows? It might be called something else.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
I'm just waiting for it to be cancelled.
I know, be called... man. I was walking through the store too, and I saw Red Rippers. The candy. They're deliciously chewy or some shit. I don't know what they put on it now. Red Rippers.
Oh, shit.
So,
anyways.
I love Redskins. Redskins were the best candy ever.
I'm alluding to the fact that I think the store managers of your local grocery stores are probably inner 12-year-olds because they just find these things, these fun things. Like, these are the things you find in your Easter show bags, not in your grocery stores. Yeah, but it's good though. I'm not hating. I'm just like I'm a little bit jelly, to be honest.
We've got Apple Jacks now too. It's pretty good.
Hey,
we got Apple Jacks now too. It's pretty good.
What's Apple Jacks?
It's like they're like Fruit Loop shaped things, but they're like apple flavored round ones.
Okay.
In like a green box. And it's got like a little, like a leprechaun on the front or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, we digress. What's on your mind this week, man?
What's on my mind this week? Well, as most of the topics that come through this show is generally filtered somewhat through my clientele base that I have. And I've had quite a few. I always have interesting conversations. Sometimes it's a matter of filtration. Like sometimes I'll go to bed at night. Yeah. I've been noted, I probably should just, hey Siri, my phone, and I'm sure it'll probably just like pick up on it. But I've still got the pen and paper pad next to me, and I'll just like,
you
jot
still
something
write down like pen and paper.
Yeah, that's just. I just feel like it's quicker. I'm just like, and I'll like write something retarded like right next to me, and then I wake up in the morning, and I kind of read it and go, oh yeah, I know what that is. And that's generally where a lot of my ideas pop in. It's like they're like in movies when someone's like dying, they say their last thing. Yeah. It's like before my brain's about to go into the next dimension.
You just scribble it out.
I come up with like podcast ideas.
It's dedication.
So I generally quite a few, but the last couple of ones I've had is without trying to obviously keeping people's privacy. I've got quite a few Olympic athletes to come and see.
Oh, sorry,
without mentioning names. Sorry. But I had this one lady who comes in, and I can't say the sport that she's in because then it'll kind of give it away. But she competes in a very peculiar niche. In other words, I didn't know it was an Olympic sport. Okay. Which got me thinking about the Olympic Games. Okay. Because I'm like, I know over time.
Summer Olympics or normal Olympics?
The Olympic Games that are coming up in Japan.
So they're the Summer Olympics, right?
Yes.
So the Summer Olympics are coming up soon.
Yeah.
When's the non-summer, just the generic Olympics?
No, the Summer Olympic Games is the normal ones.
Oh, so you got normal Olympics, i.e. summer, and then you got Winter Olympics.
Correct.
So the big ones that would do.
So the ones that are like track and field, swimming.
The usual Olympics.
The usual stuff.
So that's the one that's coming up now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Winter Olympics says, bobsleds, etc. All that kind of stuff. Skiing.
Okay.
Anyways. So I found it just quite interesting. This lady does, a very, I guess...
Unique
sport. Okay. And I'm not trying to shut it down, but it got me thinking about the Olympic Games. And I was like, okay, well, if that's an Olympic sport...
Yeah.
I feel like there should be, a lot of... It's not a shutting down why this sport or that sport shouldn't be in Olympics. I'm thinking, you know what?
Oh, okay.
Let's jump on the bandwagon.
This is an inclusion episode.
This is an inclusion.
This is an equity and inclusion
very
episode.
Well said. This is an inclusion episode. This is not a your sport sucks. It shouldn't be an Olympic sport.
We're
this
making
is
progress.
You know what? If your sport's in it, my sport's in it.
Okay.
God damn it. So I feel like if whoever the committee is out there, the IOC, if they happen to be listening to this show, hashtag not sponsored, but we'll be happy.
I don't think they can sponsor anybody.
I don't know. You know how sometimes they have those like late night, what's it called? Kind of Olympic Games Day roundups, but it's like a comedic spin.
Yeah.
We'd smash that.
We sure could.
We sure could. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's bank that idea. Let's kind of like see if we can work on it.
What a post Olympic commentary.
No.
Idea.
Not every day because it's on forever, right? But we do maybe like a weekly roundup, like 5 minutes,
Okay.
of a little montage of what we thought of the Olympic Games.
All right. I mean,
Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned.
Okay, but anyways, for the next Olympics and maybe the Olympics after that, there's criteria. There's there's all these loops and bounds, and we found out a few episodes ago, maybe a dozen episodes ago, that chess is going to be, or I think is an Olympic game, an Olympic sport.
Is it?
Yeah, pretty
I
sure.
think we were talking about it, but I didn't know if it was seriously becoming
we broke
an
down
Olympic
the
sport.
Queens of Gambit and etc. And then ended up finding out there's an Olympic sport, and then ended up finding out that they do doping tests for chess players. So anyways, I thought today would be a great inclusion episode.
Okay, let's do
taking
that.
your words for it.
Let's include sports.
Let's include. And we're gonna play around with some of them, but I feel like, and we haven't prepared.
I'm gonna have to. I was about to say I'm gonna have to dig deep on this one because I just literally just found out
I'll
about
start
this
the
about the
juices.
show.
I'll start the juices. Right.
Okay.
I was thinking like every year in England. I'm not sure what part in England it is, but they have the Chelsea Flower Show. Have you heard of that, right? Wait, what are you laughing for?
Okay.
Just hear me out for a second.
I'm
You're going to like
hearing
this
you.
one.
Okay.
We could be dual Olympic medalists. Just hear me out already, okay? So they've got the Chelsea Flower Show.
Okay.
Every year, sometime in their
Oh,
spring. So it would be like European spring. What's that, like May, June,
Okay.
something like that?
Yep.
April, May, June, something like that. Anyways, so I was like, hold on a second. Why can't like landscapers like do like extreme turf laying like Olympic sport?
I would expect to see that in the Sydney Royal Easter Show before I see it in the Olympics, as in you can win bronze medals and stuff.
I don't want to pull out the phone because I've got it here of these nonsense sports, but I'm not. It's an inclusion
Okay, so
episode.
it's landscape because I thought you were about to say like
Actually, you know
flower
what?
growing
If
or
the-
flower picking or something.
No.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
talking about like
Because whatever goes in Olympics, it has to be. You have to go through anti-doping stuff, right?
yeah.
And a lot of these things are on the banned substances list. I'm sure are plant-based steroids, right?
Plant-based steroids.
Well, surely some of them are.
Okay, maybe.
I would assume so, which means all
Probably
flower
probably
pickers
made in
by
some super
default
lab
are
somewhere.
potentially contaminated,
Yeah. Okay.
and landscapers.
But don't you think like look, come on, there is no, but
All right,
all
I'll
jokes
play with the idea for the
also-
purposes of inclusion. Yeah, just wave the flag. I'm all for it.
all jokes aside.
Okay,
Come on, seriously, think about it.
where they basically just like lay out a blank slab of dirt, and then you've got to create a new
in the
landscape
Chelsea Flower
garden.
Show, they get given a lot, like a space,
Okay.
200 square meters, 300 square meters, whatever, and then they get given a time, a week, a couple days. I'm not exactly sure, and the landscape architects, designers, you name it, horticulturists all come together and put together this like epic garden space, and then it gets judged.
I mean, I'd like to watch it because I'm into that.
Okay, no, but it's honest, you'll like it
I
because
would
we're
like
into
it.
that kind of
I would
stuff.
like
right?
it, but I don't know if Olympic people would like it.
But okay, don't let me pull out the
Pull out the list.
No,
man,
I'm not pulling out.
you started off with
this
a,
is an
with a-
inclusion
with a doozy
episode
already.
This is an inclusion episode.
Okay.
Okay, it's an inclusion episode. Let's keep it mild. So I was just thinking like. The tech, like, there's a lot of science that goes behind it.
Yes.
You know, like proper soil, making sure there's like sand base, is added to it to make sure that, there's good growth.
Yes.
There's sea soil. There's, kind of like lawn builders.
Yep.
When to cut, when not to cut. There's a lot more
to it.
Over a space of time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, if the Chelsea Flower Show gets judged over like a week's period of people, getting all different types of plants and trees and
then why
whatever.
can't the landscapers be represented?
Yeah.
All right. I agree.
Don't you think?
They're in.
They're in?
They're in.
All right.
Congratulations, landscapers, who are now potentially Olympians.
But I don't know. Look, you can get creative, right? You can do it like a 48-hour marathon of like get this garden. Like you guys, look, you got one excavator, 3 laborers, 1 designer. Bang, there's your team. And it's like like a bobsled team. There's like always a captain at the front. You know what I mean? If there's like
I can't take this serious.
Come on, man. I'm being actually serious. Like again, they make me pull out the phone. There's some serious dodgy sports in there. I'm like, why can't
let's go on with the next.
Why can't horticulturists / landscapers?
Because it's not as. Is it a sport? I mean, look, I'll put it this way:
is chess a sport?
Hold on a. Yeah, I guess.
How?
Listen, I understand.
Put it this way: there's way more physical activity.
This is what I was about to say. You're taking the words out of my mouth.
Which is an athletic output than there is with chess.
Let me try and come on your side of the fence.
Okay, come on my side.
Because I was about to say.
Come on over.
I was about to say that I've done some landscaping work at home, and when you dig in these trenches and you do this work, it's tiring. It's
hard.
So you have to be fit. Man. So if they're doing this for hours and coming up with a really good result, and they're like digging and planting and moving and shuffling and getting dirty and whatever else,
earth moving stuff.
It requires some fitness.
Definitely fitness.
It requires some fitness.
Which
and the sponsorship opportunities for teams like that would be huge.
And which you would have to then test these landscape architects for doping, because if they were on steroids, they'd be able to move earth quicker, right? So it would legitimately fall under this banner of output of physical activity.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say maybe. I'll put it on the scale of what's crazy and what's a yes or no.
Okay.
Some other ideas. I'm on the fence.
That's fair. Okay. I'll come up with the ideas and you scale.
Okay.
All right. You got any off the top of your head? I'll throw another one out if you want.
Okay, go.
Okay.
I do have one.
Okay, go.
Tetris playing. Have
Okay,
you seen...
This was going to be my second one, actually.
What, Tetris?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gaming.
Well, see, this is the thing. This is what they should...
Gaming Olympics.
I think
and this is a serious
gaming,
one. This
I
is
think
a serious one.
This is not an inclusion thing, but seriously, I think there is cause for argument to say that esports as a whole,
yes,
or just just gaming in general, has its own potential place as an Olympic sport.
Yep.
Or to have its own Olympics. Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, E-Olympics. Third category. And it's just gaming. E-Olympics,
yeah,
electronic.
But then I'm talking about
not just sports.
Included into the Olympic banner.
Well, I'm going as far as saying they could be on their own.
Esports, but they already have a world championships.
Is there a maximum permissible amount of caffeine in the Olympics?
Well, if it's an Olympic sport, it would have to fall under some form of testing.
Including caffeine? Because I'm surely people who game a lot drink a lot of coffee.
I'm assuming caffeine is probably on the banned substance list.
I don't know, man. I'd put gaming on there. Yeah. I reckon I would put gaming before landscaping.
It's a bit rough.
Sorry, man. I know you're into your landscaping. I know, and I know you would probably apply. You would be able to change the status of our podcast bio to Olympian, neuromuscular therapist, and you would be the Olympian.
How sick would that be? Honestly, it's like
you could put the rings in your bio.
It's like you're walking around and just saying just rattling off what you do and who you are, and you just start off with, "Hi, I'm Daniel, Olympian." It's like all of a sudden when someone says Olympian, I think of
Elite.
Carved out naked Zeus.
Yeah, just standing there holding the rings.
Standing
just
there.
holding a ring on each bicep.
That's it. Just swinging them around like hula hoops. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, but I'm being serious. Gaming.
No, I think there's real true cause for having gaming inside the Olympics.
Now, what type of games, though? Because you couldn't put every single
It'd have to be a strategy game. Not these phone app things where people just do pointless games, like strategy games.
So Tetris would be a phone app game?
No. Tetris did not start as a phone app. Let's not insult Tetris.
Okay.
Tetris is because there are comps for Tetris now.
There's comps for every
No,
game, though. Dude.
Tetris though is a whole new level.
Is this a little bit user bias? Come on.
Tetris, the skill set required to align bricks properly in Tetris at the speed at which we've got a screen.
Tetris above landscaping?
Dude, we got a screen
Tetris
coming here
above
soon. We're
landscaping.
going to include it in the podcast at some point so we can show some people stuff. Eventually, I'm gonna bank it. I'm going to show you what Tetris playing looks like fast.
Okay.
It is wicked.
Okay.
Like wicked fast.
Okay.
I would say that they would probably deserve a place. So I'd say Tetris. Things like first-person shooters are important. They would be in there,
Yeah.
'cause
Sorry,
they're good
you lost me
strategy.
for a second. Yeah.
And anything like high-level strategy, like your old-school Command and Conquer, Halo.
What about sports games?
Of course.
Yeah.
FIFA.
So EA Sports.
EA Sports, all those EA Sports
Madden,
games.
NBA Live,
NBA,
all that stuff. Yeah.
FIFA, all that kind of stuff. Yes.
Because
Definitely.
you'd have some athletes that might even cross over, be like dual Olympians.
That would be cool.
That'd be pretty sick.
I would agree on that. I think that'd be cool. I would
be
like
pretty
to see
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And look, realistically though, when you look at it from a progressive kind of sense, the world is going digital.
Yeah.
So people are steering away, not steering away, but living more in a digital space.
Yeah.
So they're living less inside sports in some countries.
Yeah.
And there is probably, and people spend more time playing esports than they play sports in some countries. Mm-hmm. So you kind of got to progress along. Like, back in the days of like Olympics years and years ago, I'm sure like battling a lion was probably one of the sports, right?
Mm-hmm,
when you think about it, people in like Colosseum like fighting lions.
Yeah.
But someone along the line said, we probably can't keep throwing humans into the Colosseum with a lion. We need to stop.
Just got to stop. Just
So
slightly,
now we've probably got to say we can't
unacceptable-
just
unacceptable.
expect people to play soccer on the field. We should probably also play with a controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's natural progression.
Natural progression.
I'm all for it.
100%.
So I would say esports. I'm cool with that. I think that's a good sport. Things like, I'm just looking now, like for example, the Rubik's Cube. It's hackable.
But see,
I don't think stuff like that. Anything
No,
that's
because
that's hackable strategic wise,
it's
where you
pattern.
where it's got a pattern or a code. No, I don't agree with that.
and your kids sit there, and I've seen kids do it, and it freaks me out, right? And they're like, they just
With their eyes closed in, like,
they're
8
just doing it,
seconds.
and it's purely muscle memory. Now, and some athletes would say, well, muscle memory is required for certain things, like javelin throwing, shot putting. Yes, but like, there's a little bit more to it than just sitting in a chair and like looking up in the sky and.
But it comes
30
with
seconds
a code.
later, you got
So stuff like that, I don't think that.
No,
should be.
I disagree with that as well. But remember, there's an inclusion episode.
What about playing off the back of our last episode? What about survival? Because you're big on.
Oh, if
You're big.
Oh my god, he's killing. You know what?
You're big. What's it called?
Survivor.
What about what? And I'm talking like real level shit. None of this. Like,
No,
okay,
but
there's a
it's
camera.
real level stuff.
I'm talking like literally, you're flying a helicopter. You just
just
go
get
and
dropped.
push the Olympic athletes out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
With whatever they choose to put in their backpack.
Yeah.
And they have to navigate and survive their way through.
Yeah.
The most right, and there's different levels. You start off easy. You kind of like trekking along, little easy bush, have a little bit of a camp out. By the end of it, you're like trekking through torrential forest with like anacondas and all kinds of crazy alligators and crocodiles.
That's
and
kind of
shit
like orienteering.
to survive.
That's kind of orienteering.
Orienteering, Olympic sport.
Exactly. Yes.
Done.
That's going to be one on my
right.
list as well. Orienteering. I think it might be.
Already.
Maybe. We'll have to research that. Where's our dude? Oh, we don't have one. Anyways.
We should just pretend that we got like an
Can
intern
you
over there. Can you
you just-
find out whether or not orienteering is Olympic sport and tell us later on?
go? It might be, but if it's not, it should be orienteering.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm going to go on. So there's a show, or it started off in America, but it's obviously in Australia as well. But I reckon they should have, because Survivor, the show Survivor goes for 39 days, right?
Yeah.
They could. I think I'm pretty sure the Olympics goes for a month from memory.
Possibly.
So let's just say they did a hybrid version, 29 days.
Who survived the end of it?
And it's the Olympic sport is going from the opening ceremony right to the second last day.
It'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty sick.
Everyone's walking into the stadium and they go, and now we're going to move to the first Olympic sport, which is now taken live, the Orienteering Academy. And the camera looks up on the screen and they literally just push someone out of the chopper. They go, all right, we'll check back on them. And
how sick would that be?
And it's got to be structured such that only 3 people can come out of the thing at the end.
Yeah.
Only 3 will be
Only
able to come
3
out.
will come out at the end.
That's pretty bad.
Well, yeah. Well, there has to be a winner. There's always a winner.
No, I mean like 3 survive.
Oh, that's a bit rough. It's an Olympic sport, dude. It's not. We're just speaking about gladiators and stuff.
Okay, we won't have it that bad.
No, but honestly, they could easily include that show.
It could
do
be
a 29-day version.
Yes.
The only shit part about them is they won't be included in the opening or the closing ceremony. So they won't get to march.
Because then at the closing ceremony, they're like, and we're closing, but we're going to return live. The person just like come out of the bush with like thorns all over them. Someone runs up and gives them a medal.
Oh, gosh. So I reckon
Orienteering, that is cool.
Orienteering
I reckon that'd
would
be cool.
good. If it's not on there, it should be on there. Now,
the viewership on that would be good.
yeah. And I heard a rumor, and it might not be a rumor. Maybe it just might be me just jumping on the train really late. Okay, I'm gonna slightly be non-inclusive.
Okay.
Here. Like figure. What's it called? Figure dancing. Figure skating. Dancing. Not a fan.
So you're
But then
trying
I thought,
Yeah.
I want to make it an inclusive thing,
Yeah.
and I was like, breakdancing.
I thought you were going to say that. Is that not a sport already?
It is a sport, but I don't know if it's an Olympic sport.
I thought breakdancing was
Because
already in the Olympics.
The athleticism
Yeah.
that is going on with those breakdancers
Is real.
is real stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? But then
Breakdancing.
shifting it into another gear, right? If there's like, because you know that you got those gymnasts, right? And they do that like thing at the end, and they bounce around and they do a routine and they go,
Yep.
like that, you know, for the YouTube people. I was like, if there's breakdancing and there's figure dancing, like why not like they do like dancing?
Just dancing.
Just
in general?
like call it whatever you want. Nightclub dancing,
Okay.
like 70s dancing, 80s dancing, 90s dancing, and just like because you see some people that they drop on the dance floor and they pull out some like sick moves. Right, I'm for one, and not one of them.
Is there not a dancing criteria already in the Olympics?
Not dancing. Do you know what I mean? But like I'm talking like your new modern stuff like your shuffles and you know maybe the worm.
I would put something like creative and contemporary dancing.
dancing.
Creative and contemporary.
And you could do single. You could do
it feels
singles.
a little bit Dancing with the Stars-esque.
No.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not talking about that. No.
I'm not a fan.
I'm talking about that kind of stuff.
Like creative, cool level stuff.
Like just drop it down, do the speeds, followed by a shuffle, do a worm. All of a sudden, you're pulling out all these like moves, and each of them are worth a certain points.
Yeah, no, I could go with that.
And at the same time, wait for it. At the same time, that this will be groundbreaking. At the same time that there is dancing competition, like the judging for medals, these people are dancing to live DJ music who are also competing.
So DJing is a sport.
DJing for a sport.
Oh, wow, okay.
So simultaneous 2 sports in one. So you got a DJ on there dropping a track. Nobody knows what it is.
No offense to... I'm sure not all DJs are, but I'm sure some of them are not going to pass the doping test. This is nothing to all DJs, but I'm talking like... There's some crazy field day kind of events in Australia.
Right. I forgot about that. They'll work their way around it.
Okay.
It's not the most strictest testing. Anyways. So
okay,
simultaneous sport. So 2 things are getting judged at the same time, and the dancing is being obviously they're dancing to the tune of the DJ's tracks.
Yeah. So it's like unscripted dancing. They've got no prep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into that.
So you got a judge judging the tracks.
Yep.
And another judge judging the dancing to the tracks.
Okay, I like that because you'd be really pulling out the best talent that can on the spot just go and do something.
And when you're dancing, it's very much you feel the vibe. You know when you're on the dance floor, right? And you're at a wedding, you're dancing, oh, this is cool. And then you hear that beat coming in the background and you just go, and you look at your man, you go, bro, it's that song. And people looking at you like, what are you talking about? What song?
You just got your own
and you
move.
just know it's that song by the certain beat. So as a performer, a dancer, you'd be like, I know what I'm going to do with this. And then bang, you'd hit it off.
I'm into that.
You like that one?
Yeah.
So
I think that's
breakdancing
cool.
/ dancing / DJing,
Yes.
all in the one.
In the one.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I did come up with one, but then I totally forgot what it was, and I thought it was going to be a really good one too. Have you got another one? Oh, no. What was it? No, keep going.
I've rattled off like 4 in a row, dude.
No, keep going. Tell me some more, because I'm trying to remember the one.
Well, let's backtrack. So Survivor, simultaneous Survivor from
Yes.
day 1 to day 30 of the Olympic sports.
Yes.
Orienteering, if it's not already in, should be in.
Okay.
Breakdancing,
Yes.
contemporary dancing,
Yes.
whilst DJing.
Yes.
Well,
There was one more, landscaping. You already said that.
landscaping, like
Okay.
kind of stealing
E-games.
stealing a bit from the Chelsea Flower Show,
Gaming.
and then gaming. So
Okay.
esports / what did you call them again? Divide and Conquer, like shooting games. What do they call it again?
First person shooter.
First person shooter. That's it.
Okay. One thing I'm going to have to do for the YouTube is I'm going to have to take a break now. We've never done breaks. I forgot to tell you this. Sorry. I'm like mid-show producing right now.
Okay.
Because these videos stretch for more than 40 minutes,
Okay.
I'm going to have to split the editing now. So this is an
nice.
intro show thing. So
Wow, groundbreaking.
we're going to now potentially introduce breaks into our show.
Okay.
It will not be like a normal break because I don't plan on doing anything in the middle. We'll just come back and pretend we're back to normal
I
again.
guess if those people that are listening to the show, it's probably going to last like a second.
A second. So just give me a
Okay.
second. All right. We're back on.
Okay. Cool.
I should have tried to think about my. I should have during that long break. I should have tried to think about the sport.
Okay.
Is fishing one of them?
If shooting clay plates is an Olympic sport, I
Fishing
don't
should
see
be.
why fishing should
I agree.
be an Olympic sport.
I do. I agree.
Like, I'm not a big fisherman myself,
This is the one I remember.
but I've
I
got
was
some
gonna say.
keen fisherman clients, and the stuff that they do and catch.
Yeah, it's
and
very technical.
It's technical.
It's technical. I agree.
I'm talking like I didn't realize that a $10 rod at Big W wasn't top end. Sorry
There's some
for all the fishermen out there. I've probably insulted. Like
No, that's giving them credit because they've got
thousands of
proper
dollars.
gear. Yeah, proper gear.
thousands.
Dude, I went camping with
I
my
couldn't
son a
believe
few
it.
months ago, and I went to go and get him a lure for his first fish because he's got his own rod, he's got his own little kit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go get some new bait and work out what we can use for his rig.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and I haven't bought stuff like this for a long time. You know, I bought one little thing for, I think it was used for trout or something, tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $15
Yeah.
just for a little plastic, just one.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys' kits have like, when you do like deep sea fishing stuff,
It's crazy.
they're like nearly 15 centimeters something long, steel things, big rod
But not
things.
just actual rods, the
No,
line.
they're like,
I don't know the
they're
technical
legit.
stuff. But
If shooting is a sport in the Olympics, fishing should be one of them because I agree they're both good enough sports. This is the other thing I was going to say.
yeah.
And I actually may have heard this is coming in on. I'm not quite sure. You might know. But parkour.
Yeah, that should be one. 100% that should be one.
Parkour should be an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
The athleticism, the strategy,
Do you think
the
that-
risk, the fitness, the endurance, the skill set required for parkour should be an Olympic sport.
You kind of like, yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I'm torn as to what the landscape should be, whether it should be manufactured or whether it should be like for example, the next game's in Tokyo, right? Maybe the landscape in which they do the parkour should be of a natural setting.
It'd be more fun if it was natural.
That's what I'm thinking. It'd be more like,
Because I've seen them do like these
or do you
manufactured
just put
kind of
blocks
versions.
and stuff everywhere and people just kind of like do this? I don't know. It just doesn't have the same.
It doesn't have the same vibe.
'Cause
You
part of
want to
the-
go to some of the most complex places in the world,
Yeah.
where it's like today we are live coming from the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
The first person to get to the top,
Parkour
backflip
style.
off and do some weird shit. Not
Yeah.
from the top, but
But
close
you know,
to it,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
would be sick. And make these things like 10K runs where you
Whatever,
it's like
whatever.
a game. You know when you're like running, you do some weird shit and you get points along the way.
I don't know if they could do 10Ks.
No.
That's a lot.
Well, I don't know, 5Ks. I'm
Still-
naive. I'm not a parkour runner. Look at
I
me.
think it's a couple hundred meters
No.
because they're using a lot of different strength. Anyways, but I know what you mean though.
But as they go along, they kind of score points as they go.
Yeah.
And the camera runs along and they just trek
just
through the
this
city.
drone just following them.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, man, that'd be cool.
So you kind of took not the same, but it's kind of similar in a sense because it's an outdoor thing. Skirmish.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Skirmish would be pretty sick. It's
We
like,
should sit on the committee, man.
Huh?
We should sit on the committee. I'd watch this Olympics.
This is fire stuff. Skirmish.
No, I'm into that.
Like
Yep.
paintball for those overseas listeners. Do we say skirmish or do we say paintball? Do we
You
say
say
both?
skirmish.
Skirmish. But overseas it's paintball.
Skirmish, paintball, same
Paintball,
thing.
Whatever, right? Like,
That's pro too, man.
That's
Have you seen
sick.
some of the kits they use?
like we're talking, that's group stuff, that's tactics.
Yep.
You know, like, again, you could, you know, is it one shot, one kill?
It would also
is it
pay-
like, is certain body parts, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it would also pay tribute and give a lot of our
veterans.
And I want to have an episode on veterans. I watched a documentary the other
Mm-hmm.
day about the US Marines. Man, that stuff's legit.
We'll bank
Anyway, we'll bank that. I think it would pay tribute and give something for our vets who are finished and done their retirement or left their service to continue still
Utilizing
keeping their
their
skill
skills.
sets
Yeah.
and keeping them raised and sharp. Because I go on, you know, when you're on YouTube and you just find yourself scrolling through stuff and all of a sudden you're like, you go on there to look at, you know, how to sharpen your lawnmower blade, and then next minute you're watching like, you're watching a video titled like, you know, Navy SEAL, you know, takes on entire skirmish team and wins. Watch this, and then all of a sudden you're watching it, and it's like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's
And I watched this one military guy, and he's like, in these buildings, like kind of like ducking back and forth, and it's like, and he literally just took out like 40 people.
Yeah, that's sick.
And they've got like, they're just shooting, and then they pull out like the normal like a 9mm type thing, but it's like a paintball version.
Yeah.
But they got like paintball grenades. And,
This is what I'm saying.
dude, there's a whole thing of like,
whole-
they got like lasers and scopes and snipers. They got like all kinds of stuff.
That was going to be one of
agree.
my things, right? Because one of the sports, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I thought, well, it's an inclusion episode. I'm not like bagging it, but there's laser pointing.
What do you mean? As in like the lasers, you point the laser.
Yeah.
Is it a real sport?
Yeah.
What
So
Olympics are
laser-
you watching, dude?
I'm telling you, it's a sport.
Well, from a distance, you got to like point the laser.
It's like
and hit
laser
the target.
tag in a sense.
But what are you pointing the laser at?
People.
Or is it laser tag?
Well, it's, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's right here.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, man,
Why
it's
don't-
right there.
So why don't they have skirmish then? Because it's painful.
Well, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Skirmish is like,
It would be next level stuff. It'd be great.
you want a bit of pain in there too.
Huh?
You want a bit of pain in there too.
Oh, you know, nothing like a bit of, paintball.
Okay, and I'm a big fan of. It's actually a sport I'd like to try one day. Fencing.
Yeah, that's a good sport.
But to me, that's like laser as well, because you kind of like touch, but it's not. You know, it's not like jousting where you're like really go into it.
Yeah. No, but fencing's an old school sport. Like, it's not my thing personally.
Super skilled
But
too.
you got to be like super skilled, and you got to have
Fun fact:
wicked,
a lot of
wicked balance and all that kind of
fun
stuff.
fact: a lot of Bruce Lee's martial art,
Stance
Jeet Kune
comes
Do,
from fencing.
comes from fencing.
I read about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like shuffling forward, shuffling back.
Well, it's that whole sideways
Offensive
karate
striking,
stance type
leading
thing.
with your first hand. So,
Hand.
yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of it comes from
Lee.
fencing.
Well, not fencing, but Bruce Lee's philosophy.
Yeah.
No,
No. A lot of Bruce Lee stuff comes from fencing.
yeah, no, that he included in his philosophy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I meant.
So no, skirmish, 100%.
Skirmish has to be in there, right?
That's probably one of the better ones. I think we should definitely include.
I really think we've rattled off.
I would want to see
at least about 10 sports there that legitimately could be in there, right? One thing, just out of shits and giggles, again, inclusive episode, and just in case there's professional athletes there that do it, there's trampolining.
They already have that as an Olympic sport.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a sport. I thought that was just a pastime you did in your backyard.
Yeah. No, trampolining, I think is because all the typical sports like soccer,
It is a proper gymnastic
it
sport.
forms part of gymnastics.
But it's just like, it just looks like a hell of a lot of fun too.
Well, they do things
Not
like
if you got weak knees though.
because they do things like in gymnastics, they do like the choreographed or the dance routines where they got like the baton, the sticks.
Yeah.
And they got the balls that they throw up in the air and they catch with their There's like
enough.
some level coordination stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
on a real
definitely.
sense, because these are on a real thing, that requires a lot of skill. But for me, things like some of the stuff we've just rattled off requires a lot of skill, quite similar to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That should warrant it. I'd go as far as to say podcasting should be an Olympic sport.
How would you do the criteria?
Where you
of that,
literally
though?
just say, guys, this is the topic. Go.
Oh, okay. So topic-induced podcasting.
Topic-induced podcasting.
So they might pull it. So they might just like out of a basket. We just put our hand in, pull a topic out.
Pick a
and it's
topic. Any topic.
whatever.
And not like debating. It's not just like, oh, you talk about it and debate. So they pull it out of the hat and they go, oh, today's topic is
And it's like,
global
pull it out,
warming.
3, 2,
and everyone
1,
just talks
and
about
you're live
done.
kind of
No,
thing.
not like that. More like you pick out a topic where they're like, we want you guys to talk about Pop-Tarts, landscaping,
Yeah.
and fixing a leak in your roof in the one show.
Go.
30 minutes long. Go. And it's going to get rated on things like humor, complexity of topic, ability to talk about it laterally across multiple things, relate it. So make roofing the same level of relatability to a Pop-Tart, contextualize it, and give it a score. I'm putting it out there, and I'm saying that because I'd also like to have Olympic athlete inside my podcast title, alongside you as a landscaper
podcast. Skirmish. It's just this episode literally turned into things that we like doing and making it into a podcast, making it into the Olympic Games.
Look, man, it's a real thing. I think it's worthy.
If you did the orienteering, which / Survivor,
oh man, that'd be so much fun.
You couldn't do you can only dedicate yourself to one sport.
Hey man, multi-potential out of it.
No, but you couldn't physically, because if you're part of, if you're doing the 29 days.
Unless you podcast while you're orienteering.
No.
We're coming to you live from the side of a cliff. What's the topic? Pop-Tarts.
Oh gosh, you got any more?
No, I don't know, man. Like, I think if you throw in more random stuff.
That wasn't random. I think it's legit.
No, I mean like super, because after all, some of those were proper legit stuff. But if you start throwing in super random stuff like, baking, for example.
Yeah.
Or like cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
Then it starts to get into the the Master Chefy kind of cook-off vibes.
Yeah.
Although Gordon Ramsay would be a very good commentator for a cooking one. Can you imagine him as Olympic commentator for the cooking Olympics?
I've been saying this podcast for a couple of weeks now. Like, I've just been so busy at work. I like to kind of unwind and watch something, but I just haven't had much time to do that.
Yeah.
So I might have 10, 15 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And it's just enough for some like quick snippet Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares, like 7-minute episodes.
Yeah.
That guy is so fucking funny,
Have you watched him? I think I told you this. Have you watched him on the Hot Wings episode?
No.
Where he goes and eats the spicy wings and they ask him questions.
He would be hilarious.
Dude, they interview him. Yeah. I wasn't a super big fan
while
of
he's
Gordon
eating
Ramsay.
hot spicy wings.
So the premise of, you know what Hot Wings is?
I'm assuming you eat these hot wings and
so basically
you're
they've got
struggling,
like 10 different type of hot wings.
Yeah.
It's on a YouTube channel. Go and check it out.
Yeah.
And they've got their own channel. And basically they interview all these stars.
Yeah.
And they'll have like, I don't know how many years, maybe say 10 different hot wings, and they vary from low to hot. Like the entry one is hot too, but they'll put like sriracha first or something with like, 2,000 Scoville units or something right at the front.
Yeah.
But by the time they get to the end wing,
you're like,
the bottle's literally like, it's got like a nuclear symbol on it with like a bomb and chilies, and it's like 2 million or 1 million plus.
Something stupid, right?
Yeah. And they basically interview these people that are on the show. So they interviewed him while doing the things.
He would have done all right.
Dude, I was in stitches, man.
He's so funny.
I'll share the link with you. Go and watch it tonight because you're a Gordon Ramsay fan.
He's like, I almost feel like I want to cook for him so he can tell me how shit my cooking is, so I can laugh at him telling me how shit I am.
I'll share the link.
He's so good.
Gordon Ramsay on
yeah, but I agree. There shouldn't be cooking, no Master Chefy type stuff. Just sideways for a second. I just remembered.
Except grilling, barbecuing. That could be an Olympic sport.
Okay, that could be a sport. Smoking.
I was about to
say. As in like
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
We're getting too much of what we like.
I know you're not a drinker at all, really. Like every now and then you might have a glass of wine and stuff like that, right? And or maybe like a fancy European beer.
Yeah.
All right. But I found something. Someone told me about this. Like a client of mine who's a what are they called? Bartender. And is that bartender? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bartender. People that make drinks and just, what are they called? Cocktails and stuff.
Yes.
Right.
That'd be cool too.
That would be cool too. He told me about this drink that I thought to myself, I know someone who would love it.
What?
I was like, I forget, I'm going to butcher the name, but it's something back, like a Nickelback or a Crackleback or a something.
Is it a pork crackling drink?
No, it's close. It's like, it's a you have to do it, like, because when you have a tequila shot, you have to have the tequila, lick the salt, have some lemon. It's kind of like that. It's like 30 phases of having something.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know why, but the moment it came to my head, I was like, oh, Yvonne will have this for sure. Okay. For sure you would have it,
Run me through it. Let me see.
Okay. So this is a shot of Jameson, so whiskey.
Okay.
Shot of Jameson whiskey.
Okay.
pickle juice, and then you bite the gherkin.
Yeah, right.
And it's supposed to taste like a Big Mac.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I know someone that I've never, ever in my life.
Is that an actual drink, though?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I'll have to look it up, right? I'm pretty sure it's something back, Nickelback, Crackleback, something back, right?
Okay.
And it's not the most popular thing, right? But if you go to certain bars in certain spaces, like especially like in places like in Western Sydney, like in Newtown, they have these kind of drinks. And it's in that order. A shot of Jameson, a shot of like gherkin juice, pickle juice jar.
Okay.
And then you got to bite the gherkin.
You had me at the pickle juice jar.
And I thought to myself, if someone would come to me and be like, do you ever think you will see Ivan drunk? I'd be like, no, never. I'll never. But I thought to myself, maybe. Just
on
maybe.
Those pickle shots?
On Jameson and pickle shots.
I don't know, man.
Anyway.
I'd definitely be up for trying that.
Yeah.
I would definitely try that. I watched this video recently.
Yeah.
And someone was doing it was like a TikTok video or something where someone was trying the world's biggest, or it's a package thing where it's like a giant gherkin. And they hold this thing. It's like,
who has a giant
dude,
gherkin?
it's a sachet like, for the YouTube people, it's like a sachet like this big, right?
Yeah.
As big as a palm of your hand. And the guy's like squeezing this pouch because it's got like juice or something in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, look at this. It's like full marketed, like proper shit, right?
Yeah.
He cuts it open. And as soon as he grabbed it, he's like, oh, we're going to try this giant gherkin. I was like, oh, yes. He cuts it open and then he smells it and he goes, ugh! And he starts heaving because he smelt the thing. And I'm like, I'm thinking either that product is really bad or he just doesn't like gherkin juice because I love gherkin juice. He pulls it. Dude, he pulls out this gherkin.
Yeah.
Like, it was like it looked like a giant cucumber. Like a big cucumber that was pickled. It was that big.
Wow.
And he holds it and I'm like, what? That is massive.
Yeah.
He bites it and he's like, and the video finished. Like he couldn't finish it. I was like, man, that looks good. But no, I'd be definitely keen to try that.
So to kind of round off the what should be in the Olympic Games sports, what would you call them? Activities, events,
New
whatever,
Olympic
right?
sports.
This one's a kind of a bit of a shits and giggles, but I thought it would be pretty funny, right? Like
shits and giggles, but there's some legit things.
So
so
everyone's familiar with a triathlon, you know, water, like swimming, cycling, running, right? I thought to myself, whether it's a part of the Olympic Games or whether it should be a games on its own, because there's CrossFit games, there's all these different games, there's esports games, the World Pub Games. I'm talking
in the Olympics,
but like you're a triathlete pub, like a pub, tripubleate, maybe you would call it. Like think about it, like darts, snooker,
but they're already Olympic sports.
Darts?
I'm pretty sure.
I know they're a sport, but I don't know if there is an Olympic sport.
No, I'm pretty sure darts is a sport.
I know sports is big.
I'm pretty sure snooker isn't it?
I don't know if they're like an Olympic sport though. No, anyways, hear me out, right?
Okay.
And you have to do all three though. Like you're not just good at snooker. Like because if we speak to a lot of triathletes, like generally they'll have what they call their favorite leg.
Yeah.
Some of them are better at the swimming, some are better at the cycling, some are better at the running.
Yeah.
And they tend to like obviously, go forward and get better when they do their certain leg. So you'd have like the pub games where you do a bit of darts, a bit of snooker, and now my mind's gone blank on the third.
What's the third
pub game.
thing in bars?
Ping pong. That's what it was. So
what bars are you talking about?
So ping pong is in.
It's in sport.
It's Olympic sport. But I'm thinking you combine these three and you have.
If they had poker, I would have said yes.
A tripubleate.
Okay.
Where they're doing all three in the one go. And there's just on this like round robin rotation of like you're playing ping pong, you're throwing darts, you're playing schooner, you're having a nickelback, whatever it's called.
You're playing snooker or drinking a schooner.
One of the two. Both.
Okay. Yeah, I can get on board with that.
You can get on board with that. I'm not joking.
Kicks and giggles, probably not.
No, shits and giggles. No, probably not. But if people out there, if you got pubs and you want to maybe use it as a bit of a marketing tool to get some people in to try your burger with the lot, come up with the pub games.
You walk past a bar and a pub and you see like
home
of whatever athlete,
home of the tripubleate. It's like what the what public what? And it's a guy that does.
Would that not get every guy out of the house as an excuse to need to go on like train? Honey, I gotta go and train. I gotta have a protein shake in the gym.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right, but at least they're out.
Oh, man.
I'm going to train for the Tri-Public Games. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
All right.
We're with that one.
There's a few serious ones in there, I think, that I would probably rate more so.
I'm serious about the landscaping. I was disappointed that you weren't as invested into it as I was.
Look.
There's some serious athletic output with that, man.
No, there definitely is athletic. What would be out of all of those then? We'll put it in there. Because I agree it requires some athleticism.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive fan of Bed Homes and Gardens.
Yeah.
I love watching that show.
Yeah.
So if I could get because I would watch that. I would watch landscaping stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be keen on that. Out of all of those, what would be, if you could only pick one?
But I'm going to be super biased and so are you.
Well, I'm curious what you'd pick.
Okay. Well, this is Survivor.
Orienteering?
Yeah, well, yeah, Survivor / Orient, like the actual game of Survivor.
It'd be a toss-up between Skirmish and Orienteering for me, but I think I would go Orienteering / Survivor.
I'd like just the day one, because you could get voted out on the third day, and that's your Olympics.
There's no voting out. There is only surviving.
You got to use the criteria of the game Survivor.
Well, you just make it hard though. What courses you can't complete? Because
you're talking about Orienteering. I'm talking about the actual game show Survivor in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
I meant like...
You're talking about legit orienteering, going trekking, backpack, surviving. Yes,
and
I agree with that too.
Scaling cliffs and cables.
But I like the social game of Survivor.
Oh, okay. So you want the full Survivor
I want the full Survivor.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You would totally go for that.
100%. Okay. All right. Any more to include in?
I don't know, man. I'm still... I'll throw it out there. Podcasting, Olympic sport.
Yeah, that's a good
Put it out there.
All right, guys. Well,
everyone enjoy the show.
Like always, I hope you enjoy the show. If you would be ever so kind to, maybe pass this show, the link, share it to a friend.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, that always helps the growth of this modest but ever-growing show. And you could do that by going to journeytowherever.com.
I do. You should do that. And check us out on YouTube if you're listening live, because then you can, if you're listening to the show, you can check us out on YouTube. So you can watch the show. Mm-hmm. And if you're a YouTube watcher and you're in the car and you want to listen to the show, you can certainly go and listen to us on any of your favorite platforms by just searching Journey to Wherever.
All right. Okay. Well,
and on that note, have a great week, everyone. Bye.
See you guys. Bye. Oh, man. That TikTok light's flaming.
Bright. Is it making you warm?
No, it's making me warm. I'm surprised you're not sweating bullets in that jumper.
I started to, but I think the air temperature started to drop just slightly, and it's making me a little bit comfortable.
Okay.
But, yeah, man.
Do you like that one today?
You know what I'm going to go and watch?
What's that?
I want to go and watch more videos around orienteering. I'm big on
I wouldn't be surprised if it's an Olympic sport.
That'd be sick.
I'll be actually disappointed if it's not.
Already?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a sport already.
Maybe there's a
version. That'd put so many people to the test. Because you would have things like scouts people. You could put psychologists in there.
Oh, man.
You could put ex-army people in there.
It would just be super diverse.
Yeah, super diverse. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. Laters. Bye.